Recorded Books and One Click Digital present Once in a Blue Moon by Simon R. Green, narrated by John Keating.
Once in a blue moon, something magical happens. It's been 100 years since the Demon War, since Prince Rupert and Princess Julia of legend rode into the Darkwood to defeat the terrible Demon Prince and banished him from the world of men. 100 years since the blue moon shed its awful wild magic over the forest kingdom. Many things have changed, and many have not. But we all know fate does so love an anniversary. Chapter 1. No one ever escapes the past. The Duchy of Lanca's greatest pride, problem, and most profitable tourist attraction is the Hawk and Fisher Memorial Academy, also known, less formally, as the Hero Academy. Founded some 75 years ago by Captains Hawk and Fisher, late of the City Guard in some less than salubrious city port down in the depths of the southern kingdoms. There are many stories about Hawk and Fisher, apparently the only honest guards in that city. All of the stories are of a resolutely heroic nature, though not always particularly nice or suitable for mixed company. But apparently these two venerable warriors reached an age where they preferred teaching to doing, and so the academy. Hawk and Fisher spent many happy and informative years teaching young men and women how to be warriors, got everything up and running, and then they moved on and were never seen again. Presumably, they went back to being heroes and died alone and bloody in some far-off place, fighting for some cause they believed in. Because that's what usually happens to heroes. The Hero Academy kept their names, and many of the traditions they established, including that all the married warriors who came in to run the place took the names Hawk and Fisher for as long as they stayed, out of respect for the original founders, or possibly to simplify merchandising rights. Either way, there have been a great many Hawks and Fishers through the years. For decades, hopeful parents have sent their more troublesome sons and daughters to the Hawk and Fisher Memorial Academy, from all sorts of countries, cities, and stations in life, to learn how to be heroes. For a great many reasons, fame and fortune, of course, duty and honour, and sometimes just because the hopeful applicants feel they have something to prove to their parents. Of the many who feel called, only a few are chosen every year, but it doesn't stop them from coming, by the hundreds and sometimes thousands. Some are hopeful, some are hopeless. The Academy holds regular auditions at the beginning of each term to sort out the wheat from the chaff in a similarly destructive process. The auditions are bloody hard, and often very bloody, and no one gets to moan about the decisions. Even if the applicants leave with less dignity or fewer limbs than they arrived with. Because the Hero Academy believes that if you can be dissuaded or frightened off, it's better to find that out right at the beginning. The Academy's tutors are strict but fair, but strict. The Hawk and Fisher Memorial Academy teaches people how to fight, and what to fight for, and how to stay alive while doing it. The Academy provides classes in weaponry, magic, lateral thinking, and really dirty tricks. And every year, it turns out a whole bunch of highly motivated young people determined to go forth in the world and make it a better place. The world shows its appreciation every year by sending assassins to kill the current Hawk and Fisher and their staff, and if at all possible, burn down the entire academy and salt the earth around it. But that's politics for you. On a day that at first seemed much like any other day, Hawk and Fisher were out taking an early morning constitutional, strolling unhurriedly across the great open plain that surrounded the academy. Most of it was dry, dusty ground, studded with just enough awkwardly protruding rocks that you had to keep your eyes open and your wits about you, and punctuated here and there with optimistic outbursts of grey-green shrub. Thick woodland marked the western horizon, and the Dragon's Back mountain ridges the eastern. Not much to look at, and even less to do out on the plain, which helped concentrate the minds of the students wonderfully. On that particular morning, the sun was barely up. The sky was an overcast grey, and the air was so still that even the smallest sound seemed to carry forever. Hawk and Fisher wandered along, side by side.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.